Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to our channel. Y'all see this? This is pure joy. I am so excited. Today is August 30th, the day after my 22nd birthday. And as you can see by the title of this video, it says 22 things that I've learned by the age of 22. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this year. I just want to, before I start, say that y'all, this has been the best birthday that I've had in a long time, and that's simply because I felt so much peace, so much joy. I literally didn't do anything. If you follow me on social media, you'll see that I dressed up. Guess where I went? Chipotle and Subway. Yes, I went to Chipotle and Subway, and I dressed up because that's just how I felt. I felt beautiful. I felt amazing. That was that. Also, I'm gonna try to make this quick because I'm gonna make this video. I don't know if anybody that watches me is like an avid YouTube watcher, but there's this challenge that I saw, and it was like the no edit challenge. So I'm gonna try to make this video what that is, because I just feel like it really ties into, the rawness of what this is. Like, I'm really bringing it to you unfiltered. Like, these are my lessons. These are things that I've learned. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. 22 things I've learned by the age of 22. The first thing is, wisdom isn't just knowing better, you have to do better. Now, this may seem like common sense, but it's not. First of all, common sense isn't common. So I'm gonna just try to break it down for you and me really quickly. Growing up, I was always told, oh, you're so wise, you're wise beyond your years, and this, that, and the third. And that is because of the way I spoke. I was very well spoken, and I knew a lot. I'm not not trying to be cocky or anything. I did know a lot because I listened. I was very quiet, I was very attentive, and I paid attention. And so I was able to retain a lot of just knowledge and a lot of the do's and the don'ts and this and the third. And I conceptualized it very well. But what I didn't do when I got older was act upon these things. And I realized now that just because you know better means nothing. It means nothing if it's up here. You have to act on that. Knowledge means nothing without action. And that's literally just that. I'm gonna leave that there because I feel like that's a easy concept to understand. Just because you know it it means nothing. It does nothing for you if you aren't putting that into action. 2, a mistake that humbles you is better than success that fuels arrogance. This is very much so a punch in the gut, because growing up I was very big-headed. People may not have known that because I was very quiet, but it goes back to what I was saying about me being told oh, you're wise and this, that, and the third. I was just yes, I know. But humility is what I lacked. And it's crazy because my mom used to say it all the time. It went in one ear and out the other, that you need to humble yourself. You need to be humble. And I'm just first of all, I am humble. Not knowing that statement in itself just showed my amount of arrogance. But I just knew what I knew, and couldn't nobody tell me different, because I knew that I was smart. And yeah, but I've realized in my later years, I'm talking about later years, I'm 22, but I've realized humility is extremely important, because if you don't humble yourself, something or someone will. 3, you only fail when you don't learn. Failure is, I feel the most overused, not overused word, but misused. There we go. I feel failure is the most misused word probably in the English language. We tell our children, we tell ourselves oh, you failed this, oh, you failed that. No, we need to get that out of our minds. We need to get that out of our vocabulary. Failure only takes place when you don't learn. Just because you don't do something correct does not mean you failed. You only fail when you stop trying and when you stop learning. When you're doing something continuously the same and it's not getting you a result, at that point you're failing, because it's just like, learn something, figure something out. Because you didn't do something right, all that is an opportunity to grow. Take what you learned from that situation, like take notes. Oh, this is what didn't help me, blah 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 blah, and grow. Like, yeah. 4, something that was once good for you may not always be. This is a hard lesson for me, simply because I am a creature of routine. I am a person of habit. Like, I get into routines very easily. That's just how I operate. Like, I have to have structure, and I used to avoid change at pretty much all costs. I liked what I liked, and I wanted it near me. I wanted it to be a part of my routine and all this and the third. But I had to learn that change is inevitable, and we are evolving creatures. Like, the world is literally based on evolution, and we just have to go with that. Something that may have once worked for you may not always work for you. Someone who may have once been good for you, and that goes with being self-aware. Just like, for example, like, the best example I could give you is like later in life allergies. Baby, you were able to chug milk as a child. Like, not to say that I don't want people coming, like, obviously, like, cow milk isn't good for us, but we were able to chug it as children. 99% of African American adults, or just adults in general, have freaking lactose issues. Think about it. We have to be very self-aware and realize that our needs, our spiritual needs, our physical needs are always evolving, and just be aware of that. 5, age does not equate growth. Now, chat. I know this is a concept a lot of people already know, but it's just very mind-boggling to me that there are 24-year-olds who act like 12-year-olds and 12-year-olds who are wise beyond a 24-year-old's mentality. But it really just goes into like the next point that I'm 6, a fixed mind is a spiritual death, and that can mean a lot of things. But what I ultimately want you to get from like those 2 points is like, you first, an open mind is necessary, because the moment you close your mind, you close your what is the word I'm looking for? I don't want to pause for too long, but like, when you close your mind, you close your potential. You eradicate your potential, that you level out. You literally, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like, you reach a plateau when you close your mind. So an open mind is a necessity, and that's why you see so many immature adults. That's because, like, when they reach a certain age, they get locked into their ways of thinking, their ways of doing, and that is not okay. That is the quickest way to kill your spirituality, and that is the quickest way to stunt your growth. We're always growing. We should always be growing. So open your mind and open your realm of possibility. 7, there is no such thing as self-made. Up until last night, I really believed when people, like, that lie that people are self-made. And I know that this may get like a lot of disagreements, but if you really think about it, first and foremost, we were put on this earth to connect, okay? And there's nothing that you can do that you will not need help with. It doesn't matter if you suck out that help on your own. You need help. There's literally nothing. Like, I'm not finna try to over explain this. There's nothing in this life that you can do without the assistance of someone. Like, nothing. If you try to do everything by yourself, it's not possible. You can literally not do everything by yourself. You need something or someone. Like, literally, you can't. We don't feed ourselves just by being. You can't just, I'm full. No, you need the assistance of somebody. You need help, okay? Period. That's just like, that's the best way I can explain it, because I will get frustrated trying to over explain that point. There's no such thing as self-made. We need each other. Where was I? 8, you are the sum of who you surround yourself with. I'm gonna slow this one down, and I'm gonna have to go get my notebook for this, because there's a quote that I would like to share. Okay. So I got this out of my lesson last night from school, and this is a quote by, what is this man's name? Y'all bear with me. I promise you it's worth it. Jim Rohn. And he famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." The book itself stated, "The environment that you spend time in determines how your genes are exposed and ultimately determines the type of person you become." Now, this is school. If you're spiritual, like, you understand like the concept of energy transfer, you understand the concept of like it's a concept that's understood. So be mindful of who you allow around you. If someone has and I'm gonna use it might be both, but if somebody have a bum spirit, that is gonna rub off on you. If somebody is negative, that is gonna rub off on you. Okay. Be mindful about who you let in your circle, because energies transfer. My school book says this. It's not even a concept that I didn't know before, but it was just a concept that was just not even reintroduced. That was just like very much so confirmed by education, by a school book. Like, there are studies. Like, watch who you hang around with. Nine, one cannot exist without the other. That is very much so the concept of yin and yang. Where's my tattoo? Okay, I don't want to show that. That's a hot mess. This was supposed to, okay, so what this was supposed to be inside of here was a yin and yang symbol. That is just like, I got that when I was younger, probably like 2-3 years ago. But it is a very important concept, because we as human beings want to stay at this like level of happiness or blah 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 blah. But think about it like this. If, here we go for my stoners out there, or my substance abuser or whatever, like people who drink, you build a tolerance, right? Because okay, that's a terrible example, but like, yeah, it's kind of like, tolerance is kind of the best way I can explain it, because like, if you're smoking all the time, it takes more smoke sessions to get high. It takes more like weed or whatever the case is to get high, right? That's just like, because how can I explain this? Without something, you won't know the difference of another thing. Like, without being sober, you won't know the feeling of being high, if that makes, or intoxicated, or whatever the case is, if that makes sense. So try to translate that concept into like the yin and yang. And without one, like, without love, there cannot be hate. Without hurt, there cannot be joy, or like all this, that, and the third. Like, you have to have both in order for the other to exist. And that has helped me in the sense of being able to better deal with my emotions and like everything around me, because like it helped me really find the beauty and see the beauty in like everything that happens. Like in heartbreak, it's so beautiful. Death is beautiful. Without death, what is living? You feel me? Like, you don't know you're alive if you don't die. Like, what it defines, like, one literally defines the other thing. So you have to, I'm sorry, somebody just swung around that corner. Relax, Paul, relax. I don't know who Paul is. Help. But yes, one cannot exist without the other. Like I said, I don't want to try to spend too much time trying to explain these ideologies and these lessons that I've learned. But like, really, 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 if nothing else in this video, please conceptualize that itself. One cannot exist without the other. We have to have a balance. All right. 10, accountability is necessary. That goes back to, we can't do this by ourselves. All right. You can try. I don't know how fun that'll be. But accountability is just, it ensures that you stay on the right track. And it is very important because, like, while we can hold ourselves accountable, we don't really, like, it's hard to kind of disappoint yourself. Like, not really, unless you are a very, like, person or whatever. But, like, come on now. It's very hard to hold yourself accountable, okay? We're not very good at it, right? I don't want to try to explain that anymore. Like, accountability is necessary so that you're able to be integral. All right, accountability breeds integrity. All right, moving on. 8, grace isn't infinite. I want people to understand that even God's grace is not infinite. If you continue to take advantage of someone, and I'm saying this because I've been guilty of that, of like taking advantage of like the love someone may have for you, or the leniency or the amount of slack that you have. That is not infinite, okay? It's just not. All right, so please, I beg of you to be mindful, all right? And don't be the type of person to take advantage of people or situations or anything like that, because grace runs out. Currency has no value. So this is steering a little bit away from like the spirituality, like my enlightenment, and more so into like the physical realm and what I've like learned about money and like everything like that. But like, currency literally has no value. There's value in you need to hold out, like, I don't know how to explain it. What is the way I can explain it? Everybody has money, right? So the way I can like more so explain it is, you have to have something that everybody does not have, like, in order to really be wealthy, like a property or something tradable or something like that. Like, do your own research, but like really understand, like, I just want to plant that seed in y'all's mind. Like, I want to give you that to go expand upon on yourself, by yourself, that currency has no value, and to stop money chasing. It is pointless. If you're comfortable, you're not evolving. I shouldn't have to explain that too much. There is no evolution in comfortability. There is nothing that can come from sitting still and being okay and being comfortable. Nothing. And it is something that I had to, like I said, it literally goes all the way back to one of my my very first point. Wisdom is not just knowing better. You have to do better. And the concept of being comfortable is not evolving. It's something that I already knew. But because we get so complacent in how we operate, it's hard to kind of get out of that. So just really keep that in the front of your mind. If you're comfortable, if you find yourself being comfortable, you're not growing, poo. 14, someone could love you and not be good for you. It is very well known that you can love someone and they not be good for you, but like people, I don't think honestly like get the concept that someone could actually love you and not be good for you. That ties back into being self-aware. Self-aware should have been on here. Being self-aware is so important, but it's also very rare because people think that they're self-aware. It's crazy, right? We think that we know everything there is to know about ourselves because we are we, but you don't even know what's good for you all the time. And if you knew anything that was good for you, you would make life hard for yourself, because it's already hard, but you would do the hard things. And understanding that someone can love you and not be good for you is one of those hard things, because like you have to be aware of where you are in your life and what you need and what will benefit that. And just because someone loves you, first of all, love is something everybody should be doing. So that's not like we've made love this rarity, and so like we cling on to it so much. But if we love the way we're supposed to, we wouldn't just use love as a reason to stay around people who are not feeding us spiritually or not doing anything for where the seasons that we're in. That goes back to evolution and something being good for you at one moment and not being good for you at another. Please know where you are in life and what helps you and where you need to go and the resources that you need in order to get there. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. You cannot save people. You can only love people. People can only save themselves. Stop trying to save people. Stop trying to over-advise. Stop trying to make people understand your level of thinking. Stop it. The only thing you can do is love that person through whatever they're going through. And if that's too much for you, no, love should never be too much for you. Like, that is the one thing that may be the hardest, but the most necessary thing, even for yourself. If you don't love for anybody else, love for yourself, because I've said it in my last video. What you put out is what you get back. So that is something that you should always, always, always be emulating. Love. But yes, your only job is to love people. You can't save them. You just can't. There is a lesson in everything. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you can learn, okay? You just have to be open to it. And that goes back to the open-mindedness. Nothing that takes place in this life is just what it is. There's no such thing as it is what it is. It's just not. It's not what it is, okay? So take everything as a lesson, and your growth will be infinite. Forgiveness is necessary. If you need to understand that concept, watch my last video. Love is the most powerful thing in the world, and God is love. God is love. I just want to get that out the way, and that's why he has instructed us to love thy brother and thy sister, because through love, anything is literally possible. Not to say that, like I said, I'm not gonna break these things down for you too much, but like, get the concept, okay? I just want the concept to be understood. Love is everything. Everything is love, and that's how to prosper. Spirituality is a necessity. If you don't know by now, then you should just know. I'm sorry if you could tell that I'm pretty much getting over the videos being made. My people home. I'm not over it, but like my back is starting to hurt, and so I'm kind of rushing through these. But spirituality is a necessity. It is. We're not our flesh. I'm not editing this video, Courtney. Oh. That's how I'm not editing this video. We are not our flesh. We are spirit. We're soul. We're not this being. And so in order to understand you, you need to be in touch with your spirituality. And yeah, I'm gonna try to rush through the rest of these because I got noise in the background now. 20, you can't choose your family. Another hard lesson for me. 21, strength isn't how much you can take, it's how much you can give. Another hard lesson for me. And then 22, perfection is an illusion. And those are the 22 things that I've learned by the age of 22. I hope this video is beneficial in some way to someone. These are very important lessons for me, and I will continue to learn. And I just may do this every year, depending on how long this YouTube channel is up. Like 23 lessons I've learned by 23, 24 lessons I've learned by 24, and there'll be completely different lessons for each year, obviously. But like, just pick one lesson out of like the 22 that I've learned, and I want someone to, everybody who watches this, elaborate on that. Like, if it's something that, a concept that you have grasped, if it's a concept that you haven't, if you have a question about it, ask it in the comments. Like, I want this to be kind of a discussion because, like I said, I'm here to learn, love, and live. And I want people to do it with me because we're in this together. So have a beautiful day.